Welcome to my podcast, Through the Thick of It. My name is Erica. I'm a functional dietitian and health optimization coach. Today, I'd like to help you uncover the answer to the infamous question, what diet should I follow? I first want to define diet, what most people think of diet, and how I actually mean diet. So, most people think by definition it's a special course of foods to which one restricts oneself either to lose weight or for medical reasons. What I mean by diet and how we really should look at the word going forward is the kinds of food that a person habitually eats. So, you see, it's about your food habits, the way you describe your regular way of eating, a way of being consistent with eating. Now, to answer that question, what diet should I follow? Honestly, it depends. People are always asking which is the best diet to follow. The truth, there is no one perfect diet that works for everyone, but there is a perfect diet just for you. And you know what will help you uncover it? It's really actually easier than you think. It's data about yourself. And you already have or know this information. You just need to get it down on paper. And then there's less experimenting that you will need to uncover to really see what's the best diet for you. So, I have a couple questions. What food rules do you have? Do you see certain foods as off limits? How often do you think about food? What's your favorite food? Do you like to cook? Do you hate to cook? What foods remind you of childhood? We all have unique experiences with food that shape our relationship with eating today. So, you see what we're doing here? We're starting to create an understanding of your relationship with food. Everyone has a unique way that they think about and interact with food. So, it's important to identify that as you start or continue to uncover what works for you. Now, what I can provide you to help you navigate your way through uncovering this grand plan is guidelines. And these are ones that you can use with any type of meal plan you could even follow. The first and most important is variety. I cannot stress this enough. Each food has unique nutrients. For example, while broccoli is an amazing food, if that's the only vegetable you ate, you are going to be missing out on so much. A good and easy rule of thumb that I use with not only my patients, but also when I'm talking to my own kids is eat the rainbow. Do you know that each color, fruit, and vegetable contains unique health components that are really vital to our health? So get as much color variety in your diet as possible. And your carbs, too. It's not just potatoes. There's rice, quinoa, multigrain pasta, sweet potatoes, amaranth. As you can see, the more variety you can get, the more different nutrients that you'll get, and the better health you'll have. Number two, consume all macronutrients. What are they? Carbohydrates, fats, proteins, all are critical for good health. The amount of each macronutrient depends really on your health status. There are many different diets that play with percentages of macronutrients. Some of the popular ones you probably know, have heard of: keto, plant based, Mediterranean. All of these have benefits for certain people and for a certain period of time. It's about what your body needs right now. You heard me right. Your diet might not be the same at all times. And this is definitely an area that you will want to experiment with. Never going too low in one macronutrient for too long. All right. Third, change it up. What does this mean? The goal is to keep your body flexible. Change up the time you eat. So, this is your eating window. Switch up the amount of macronutrients you eat. So, like carb cycling, and switch the types of food you eat. Just like your body gets used to the exercise you do, your body gets used to your typical intake. And there can really be benefits in mild stress on the body. Let me stress that. Mild changes can be helpful. Wild swings in your diet aren't great, but small tweaks can help keep it guessing and help you lose or maintain a healthy body weight. Too much stress and the body holds weight. Too little stress and the body becomes lazy. So change it up in a moderate way. Maybe intermittent fast a few days a week. Try low carb for a day and then high carb on a workout day. When you're grocery shopping, get several different fruits and vegetables and lean proteins to build your meals. All right, number four, keep it clean. 73% of food in the grocery store is ultra processed. Ultra processed foods are made mostly from substances extracted from food. So there are food parts such as fats, starches, added sugars, hydrogenated oils. There also are typically a lot of additives like artificial colors, flavors, stabilizers. To give you an example, an apple is unprocessed. Apple juice is processed, and apple pie is ultra processed. And I'm not talking about a homemade pie, I'm talking about the store bought one. There was a small study done that was very eye opening. People were put on an 83% unprocessed diet and then on an 83% ultra processed diet without restricting their calories either way. The researchers found that study subjects consumed 500 more calories per day on the ultra processed diet versus the unprocessed. Participants also gained an average of 2 pounds during the 14 days of the ultra processed diet and lost 2 pounds during the unprocessed phase, which was also 14 days. And I kind of want to go over what does that look like. So let's say we have avocado toast with a hard-boiled egg and some sprouts for breakfast. Then at lunch we have a salad with pumpkin seeds, grilled chicken, and some dressing. At dinner we have a taco and rice soup that's loaded with veggies and beans, and a piece of fruit or dark chocolate for dessert. To make this day amazing, you have to look at the foods that have some processing in it and make sure it's not ultra processed. So, I'd like to ask, if you gave me that food intake, what bread did you use? What was your salad dressing? What did you use for the broth in the soup? What kind of dark chocolate did you have? Marketers want you to believe that their product is healthy when in fact it might not be at all. So it is really important to understand food labels and ingredient lists, with ingredients being minimal. The final guideline I want to share is to think of food differently, not as a quick fix or about perfection. Instead, it's to nourish the body as fuel, as a means to be able to live the life you want with more energy, less anxiety, clear thoughts, good metabolism. Food really is to be enjoyed without rules and off limit foods. This is where that 80/20 or 90/10 rule comes in, meaning 80 or 90% of the food is clean, healthy, and 20%, maybe 10%, is more of that unbeneficial food that's a little more processed or desserts or alcohol. So, where do we go from here? Let's revisit the data about yourself, as this is where the key to uncovering that perfect diet lies for you. Some things to start asking yourself when building an ideal way of eating is, how often do I eat so that I feel energy and I'm full and not hungry all day? What foods give me energy? What foods make me feel bad? What processed foods am I not willing to give up? And where can I find a replacement option that's a little more healthy? What are my goals so that I can tailor my diet around it? Is it weight loss, longevity, building muscle? When you have these answers, start experimenting to see what works for you. Now, as you go along, here are some ways that you might know it's not working for you. You are really hungry between meals, you have cravings, you leave a meal stuffed, or maybe on the opposite end, you feel more hungry after eating. Maybe you feel sluggish after a meal, you have brain fog or a stomach ache. One obvious one would be you aren't meeting your goals. If it's weight loss, more energy, better performance. And then, can you stick to this in the evenings and on the weekends? If not, it means it's not sustainable. I really have an appreciation for the complexity of food for people. Finding the optimal diet really can be complex for some. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the food itself, which is often very ultra processed, as we talked about. But beyond that, we have all sorts of other factors that play a role in how a certain diet will or won't work for us. That's when a professional can really help. When I work with someone, I ask so many more questions to uncover that perfect meal plan: health status, symptoms, nutrition status, past successes, learning experience, food sensitivities, goals, age, the list goes on. In the end, this effort will be so worth it. Once you understand and implement a great plan for you, it will feel pretty easy, meaning you can do it ongoing without it feeling like a lot of effort. If that sounds far from where you're at right now, you can take it one small step at a time and go back to the basic guidelines I gave you in the beginning. Get variety, add macronutrients, switch up what you're doing, eat more clean foods, and cultivate a healthy relationship with food. Thank you for being right here with me as we understand ourselves a little more deeply and optimize each step to live the best life. If this still seems overwhelming, please reach out. I'd love to support you in creating that perfect plan for you. If you liked this, please subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and save it as a reference to listen again. Feel free to comment other ideas you have. We're all here for each other. Until next time.